Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Vote for Change, the series where we will look at ideas posted by users around the world. Our goal is to gather more votes on the ideas so that Microsoft will pick up the intent that we have to make the product better and we actually create change together. So today's idea is brought to us by, and I can't pronounce your name correctly, so I'm sorry for that, Mahendra, possibly. And it's all about the hierarchy now being deprecated from Dynamics, boo, but also saying basically, well, we need a hierarchy. So let's dive into it and I'll show you exactly why this is an interesting idea, and we will also be throwing some dice. All right, so by looking at this idea, if you do not know what the hierarchy feature is, we're going to look into that. But it is being deprecated in April 2025, which is not necessarily a great thing. So if we turn back time and have a look at the documentation from Microsoft on Learn about this functionality, the view hierarchy function is there to have a look at accounts that have structures in Dynamics, either parent accounts, the children accounts, etc., to see them in relation to each other. So you could either click here on the red button or you could click on top here in the menu. The result would prompt us over here. This view here does give us a lot of information, and it's absolutely nice to have. In some cases, I would almost say it's critical to have because it does actually provide decent information of what's connected to what instead of having to navigate way too much to be able to see where, what account is connected to what account. So Microsoft deemed this not worthy to continue. I mean, there are a few things we can look at. So the obvious reason is that this is probably some old technology that they don't want to continue, which is fine. Why not just renew it? Well, so it's a tough question. Well, then we say, well, the telemetry we have says that people aren't using this. So, okay, let's decipher that one. If we look at this, it has a lot of potential, but it's not usable. So we're not using it because it's never good enough, but it's still important and also a little bit too important to lose because it adds value. So their telemetry is saying that this is not being used, while we are saying this is not good enough for us to use it full out. Let me just give you an example. This right here is a field. You have no idea what field it is. There's no name to this field. This here is also a field. You have no idea what that field is. There's no name to it. But still there's data presented. What data is presented is not very obvious for the user. I mean, in this case, yeah, we see that there's something here, product family, but what does that really mean? All right, so our trusted dice here, right here. I don't think this is going to be a surprise, but Microsoft, your choice of removing this is not good. Terrible choice. It's not critical, but it's a bad choice and is based off bad data. So do we believe that we can reverse the deprecation? No. Is there any real reason to reverse it? No. I mean, it's not a critical feature. It's just kind of one of those really nice to have. It does make a lot of sense, and in demos it's great. But there's a bit of a hope here. If we just focus, I would say this task to become, well, let's reuse a few things that we already have. Let's head on over to account here and have a look. I don't know if everyone has sort of seen this, but this is just a regular account and it has 4 people connected. A while back, they released something called the org chart. It got a bit of revamp. So, just going to skip this. Got it. Doesn't this look oddly familiar? But again, written with probably a bit of a new technology. So this is actually quite simple because if we have a leader here. I can drag and drop this person in. Great. I can have person B working beneath that. I can have person A working beneath person B and person C possibly being beneath the leader. So just by this, I'm actually even going to save the chart here. I have a chart with people working here in a hierarchy. I mean, if we could use the same technology here, but just push it over to the hierarchy for the accounts, that would not be stupid. And of course here, it doesn't hurt the fact that once we are in this chart, We can do some edits. We can add some notes. If I want to add a sales note saying this is super, it's of course the notes being notes. Notes title, who knows why we have it. And the actual note, meaning person is a bit of a stiffy. All right, so we even made a note on this leader, so that's great. So the point is that we have a few things that we can do. I don't want to go into the chart. This is not selling this functionality. The point is that we do have the option, so this is what I want to push for. I kind of hope that we get something like this instead, because I don't think we should be without a hierarchy for accounts. But hey, we got this. Why not use it? So to add this all up, let's have a vote of what I think about this idea from the person Mahendra. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. So let's roll the dice. All right, so let's have a look at the magic dice. And no, we're not going to give it a 6, but it's a strong 5. The reason why I'm going to give this one a strong 5 is because it is super important for us to have this hierarchy, because not only is it great for demos, but once you actually start using it, you do save a lot of navigational clicks around the system. And I also don't think we're that far away from getting this live, because from what I'm seeing, we could reuse the technology we have on the account for the hierarchy of or the organizational chart. We just kind of have to alter it a bit, and we can still have this. It would make a lot of sense. So yeah, I really appreciate this idea, and I will, of course, as I always do in these videos when I believe in them, I will definitely vote for this. Here we go. That's all you have to do. Click that vote button. Of course, the like, subscribe, and everything like that for this YouTube channel. No, but honestly, the most important thing you do is click the vote button. It's not very hard. It took me a second here to click this vote button, and hopefully they will get some more attention. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next idea.